slowly breaking. Might pop a pill and smoke and maybe drink. Talk to God and tell him what I think. At first he's gonna hate me, but eventually he'll say, I'm just a long-haired son of a sinner, searching for new ways I can get gone.
Woo! Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the second hour of Love Babz Love Talk. Right, Harry? Am I on or are you playing more music? It's Friday. Do 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 do. Thank God it's Friday. Ah, and it's still cold. And it's gonna be cold for the next week. Although we're not in the South that's getting all the snow. Florida, snow on the beach. Although I must say, seeing snow on the beach like that in Florida, it does feel very end of days. I know what it's like to see snow on the beach in the Northeast, on the Connecticut coast and on the coast of the Northeast, New England coastline. But to see snow in Florida, Destin, on the beach, end of days. I'm a buy into that right now. I was like, what? It's like, okay, snow. Listen, I'm not complaining because they can have all of it. They're out there dancing in it and having a good time. I'm not here for it. Literally, I'm not here for it. So so I am yeah. I was up last night, I was watching uh Morris Chestnut on uh Colbert show. And I'm looking forward to his new show. Um Watson or whatever it's called. It's a take on the Sherlock Holmes Watson relationship. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna tune in after the football games this weekend or whenever Sunday, and I might put it on record so that or I could just go to Hulu and watch it after the fact. I don't have to deal with all these ridiculous commercials, you know. But I'm here for it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I am so here for it. So, uh, I am here for it. So, I like a good first of all, Morris Chestnut is lovely on the eyes. So there's that. And I'm happy to support him. Ah, I'm happy to I'm happy to support. Happy to support. That's all I'm gonna say. Happy to support. And leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Leave it at that. So, so yeah. I think I'm gonna go to. I'm going to Schwartzman with Ife on Saturday night. To see. What is her name? I can't think of her name. Let me go see her. And I'm looking forward to. I wasn't, but I think I am now. I'm looking forward to it. I saw her. I don't know what is her name. I'm trying to figure. They got everything up here except the daggone events. Like, can they just show the event? Okay, Cecile McLaurin Savant. So she's here. I'll go see her with Eve tomorrow. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm sorry I took a pause. I heard a voice. I think somebody's outside talking. Because you can hear very well. Oh yeah, somebody's outside. I see them. So I heard the voice. So so I'm gonna go see her perform. She's a very interesting artist. So I'm looking forward to her. And that's it. Like I don't really have any real plans for this weekend except Sunday. Um, the MLK, the Hamden uh, 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 Black History Committee is having their MLK event. So I will be doing that. I'm their MC on Sunday, 4 o'clock. So it's not gonna take long. They are like this is gonna be like a good maybe an hour, 15 minutes of that. So I'm happy to support uh their uh their event. So I will be there for that. And I don't know what else is going on uh for the weekend. This might be one of the quietest weekends ever, you know, because they have these moments where there's 50 million things going on, and then you have the weekends where it's very quiet. Like the bookstore, Possible Future's not even going to be open because they are having their store retreat. They're going some road trip kind of thing, so they're gonna go and do that. And I was like, okay. Uh, they'll be back open on Sunday afternoon. Uh, so I won't even be able to hang out in the bookstore this weekend. So I'll be here at the house hanging out. There's a lot to be done too. I don't know why I'm just so resistant to doing the stuff that I need to do. I am super 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 procrastinating. I am super procrastinating, and that's it. I wish I could tell you I was better. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm not. You know, I'm looking at this piece in the Atlantic about self-checkout as a failed experiment. I don't even need to read the article to tell you it's just a pain in the ass. I don't know why these stores did this mess. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So I wish they would go back to hiring people and but anything for $1, I guess. Yeah. Then there's I'm scanning the web for things that look kind of interesting. Uh I don't understand this meat stick and cottage cheese stuff. I don't even eat cottage cheese. I can't anyway. And then there's a piece by the New Statesman on how we misread The Great Gatsby because we refuse to see Gatsby as black. That's how we misread it. I didn't even read the article, but I bet you that's what they allude to. Because why else? Why? Because this otherwise it doesn't make sense. It is if he's white. And rich, why wouldn't she leave her husband for him? He's better looking and better positioned than her husband. That's because he's black and he's got a Jewish friend. And it would only be blacks and Jewish friends together. That no one hated more. No one hated people more than blacks and Jewish. And then you throw them together as a friendship. Are you kidding me? That's the part we overlook in Gatsby. That's all I'm saying. And until they make a Gatsby who is passing, that's way more interesting than the story itself. You know, somebody ought to remake that and make it with a passing Gatsby who people who the love interest knows that he's black and she knows if she gets with him and has a baby, there's a good chance that baby's gonna be dark. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So. It's just all these things that you sort of you ponder, because you're like, well, what do I know? What do I know? I'm still very congested. I don't understand this. I just don't. And I feel a little. I don't have any plans today. I think what I'm gonna go do, I probably should go to DSW because there's some. I'm looking for a particular mule, a slide. One of these fluffy slides, like one of these that has like fluffiness around it. Like you just stick your feet in and you go. I think I might have to go to Skechers because I think they lead on that kind of thing. So I might go up there today and check them out. I was gonna go to Costco because if I don't go today, I'm damn sure not going in there on the weekend. That is so not happening. I was just in Costco, but there's might be something else that I want, and I might just go get it. Uh, I might just run up and get it. So we'll see. I got to go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym, but I'm going to the gym. So I might not go to Costco. What I might just do is come on back into town, go to Hamden to Skechers, and then I need to pick up some egg whites to go with my eggs because I need to get more protein in. And the best way to do that is to and I've been watching all the hacks. You crack you some eggs, 2 or 3 eggs, and then add you a cup of egg whites, and that'll double your protein. I was like, oh man, I gotta do that. So I think that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about doing that. So we'll see what happens. I get out there and I'm cold. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do any of this. I don't I don't want to do any of this. Nothing. Nothing. And there's a hat that I want downtown. So I might run downtown and get this particular hat because I want it. And we'll see what happens. It's like there's a hat that I want. It's like, oh, I want that hat. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And then I need to go shopping because I'm having a Galentine Day event with the Soul Stitch sisters. So I've got to go and pick up some stuff. And the challenge is, and this is so not a good challenge for me. Uh, I have to get Margot. Oh, that scared me. Scared me the way the door opened. Oh God, my heart jumped out of my chest. So I have to go and no, I'm still on the show. I got 20 minutes. I gotta pick up uh, a favorite thing. And unfortunately, the favorite thing that I like is not $5. So I don't know. I don't I was like, am I the only one? Like $5. Let me just say, uh this might be a little bit of a challenge. I don't know. I think so. We'll see what happens. $5? What can you get for $5? If this was 1980 something, $5 would get you something. $5 in 2025. I don't know what that what I can't even get a I couldn't even get a Altoids is like $2. Altoids are like $3. I get two of these? I don't know. I'll think of something. I'll be creative. I might have to go over $5. I don't know. $5 might be challenging. Just saying. $5 is challenging. It's challenging. You know. Ooh, I got to work. Yeah. Yes, he does. He does. He does. So yeah, so now I got to be on the hunt for that. But that's not till February. But February is just around the corner. It is L'amour toujours l'amour is just around the corner. Black History Month, all the things, all kinds of stuff going on in February. So it's just around the corner. Yeesh. I'm, I might hear back from law schools in February. That would be nice if I got in somewhere. That would be exciting. I'd be excited by that. I really would. I'd be excited. And like whoa. I feel pretty good. I don't feel nervous or anything. If I don't get in, we'll just try. I'm gonna try one more time. I think. I hope not. I hope I get in this time, and just let me get in and start learning. I'm ready. Because I think all the things that I'm working on is gonna come to fruition all around the same time. Like it'll all just come together. I see it all sort of working out. So I'm very excited by that. You know. And I think it'll be I think it'll be fine. So yeah. All is well. I'm in the sweet spot. Everybody, I know the world is on fire. And the way that they're coming for these, I read this piece in Newark. Uh in Newark, ICE has raided a couple of businesses. And it's just outrageous. Now ICE is trying to position themselves outside of schools. Schools. So that means they are targeting children. Like they want to snatch up children. And I just I have to think, what was this like for enslaved Africans in on the West Coast that were snatched from their villages and in the places where they lived. I think about that because you have to have help to do that, right? And you have to have people who look like you to help do that mess. That's a story for another day. I think about Africans who were snatched and enslaved. I think about how Jewish folks must have felt when they were marched to train stations and told that they were going to wherever they were going to Auschwitz and all these places. They were marched to these places, and some of them had an inkling of what was happening, but a lot of them didn't, and a lot of them, some of them got their kids, out of harm's way, but a lot of them didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't help but think about indigenous people, when they came and snatched their children to put them in these schools that harmed them, and I just, and you would think that we could lean into history and not do this kind of stuff. And I swear to God, it is just baffling to me how people can, on one hand, you know, uh, come out their mouth with the love of God, and at the same time do heinous, inhumane things. I don't know how people do not wrestle with that. Like, you have to really be, and I don't want to hear anybody talk about they're just following orders. Because Nazis was following orders, and slave catchers were following orders, and it just gives me pause to think how folks who are in this country right now just afraid and nervous, and the great deal of anxiety, trying to figure out, when we don't provide them with a clear passage to citizenship. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just haven't done that. And uh and and then to seize the borders, like, I don't, like, what do we expect to get out of that? I don't I'm just trying to understand. These people are not a drain on anything. They're not. That's just made up craziness. So you find a way to give people a clear path to citizenship. I just don't, I think this is wrong on so many levels. It's just wrong. And I'm never going to be convinced otherwise. I'm just not going to be convinced because we have more than enough. And I know people like, people should have come over here. They should come over here. Da, da, da. Well, you know what? Your ancestors didn't come over here legally neither. I mean, some of them were put on ships to come over here because they weren't welcome in the spaces where they were at. They wasn't welcome in the UK, in England. That's where it came from. Uh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. I just think about that stuff. I just think about it. You know, 1 million people come in legally every year. I think that is a clear path. Well, it is for some, but not everybody. Because there's some, how many of those 1 million people look like the people that are already here? I think 1 million people look like Eastern Europeans. I don't think they look like Mexicans and I damn sure know that they don't like Indian folks and Chinese people. I know they don't. They want a very homogenous country. So if you look like you white, you don't open your mouth, you could pass. You could get in. But if you look Haitian, African, Caribbean, dark, they don't want you because they think that somehow or other that dilutes whiteness in this country. Well, I mean, I just think we're wrong. We're just wrong on it. And as a woman of color who come from stolen people who are on stolen land, I'm never gonna get with this whole illegal immigration stuff. Because you not concerning yourself with the right thing to do with indigenous people. You done ran them all over the country, running them off their land. This was their land. And you stole it from them and you killed them for it. You killed them. And they all they did was just welcome you and you killed them. And then you stole their children. And you're still killing them. There's more missing indigenous women that go unfound year after year after year. This is a huge problem. A huge problem. So until America does right by the people that are here, I don't think you should be, you know, trolling for people who are here without documentation. I don't it just sounds crazy to me. You know, crazy, 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 crazy. And it's as if you have nobody has any sense of history. Once upon a time, Irish weren't welcome here, and they wasn't even considered white people. They just wasn't. They wasn't considered. They wasn't welcome. Italians weren't welcome. Remember when Italians weren't white people? They wasn't welcome. Remember when Jews wasn't welcome? They wasn't considered white people. They just wasn't welcome. Then at some point, everybody became white. You know. You know. Anyway. Anyway. Uh, I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. So, uh, that's the way of the world. I don't know. We just spend a lot of time creating stress and drama where stress and drama is not needed. Do you understand? Like we spend a lot of time in this country creating false narratives about people and places that we don't need to do. And I know why we do it because there's this white supremacy power structure in place that just wants to, dumb down America. Because when you have a dumbed down America, then they won't question. They will give their loyalty and allegiance before even anything is asked of them. So they will already have said yes to oppression and fascism. They will already say yes before it's even brought up, and that's the that's the scary part, you know. That's the scary part. And that so many are in agreement with the harm and the violence, I as someone whose ancestors were enslaved, I'm never going to be right with that. And as someone who lived with ancestors who were enslaved and we are now living on stolen land, I'm never going to be right with it. I'm just never going to be right with it. You know, I'm never going to be right with it. So, and that's just all over the world. White supremacy is all over the world. And everybody has a modicum of white supremacy efforts in them, because it's how we are. We are, all of our roots are in white supremacy, and we all do the work of white supremacy. That's why it's pretty critical to sort of be thoughtful about what you do and how you interact in the world. And you have to constantly be asking yourself, am I doing the work of white supremacy by this action? And that's the whole point of equity and inclusion. That is the whole point, that you look through a lens of equity and inclusion so that you can see if you're doing the work of white supremacy, and then you stop it. And the fact that the government, this particular government has decided to suspend DEI and all this other kind of stuff, it's just the most ridiculous, stupid, backwards, asinine thing. But you know, that's the work of willfully and deliberately ignorant and stupidity. That's what the work is, you know. And and to think that you could undo things is just ridiculous, you know. This is what I know, that this particular White House does not have the capacity to see this through the end. They don't have the capacity to keep this up, you know, because real life enters in. And you know, to try to do away FEMA and all these things, it's just setting this country up for chaos and anarchy, you know, and all of that. And uh people will fight back. And I feel it. I see it. I see it. People are mobilizing, and people are raising money, and people are fighting back, and people are saying, this is not on my watch. So it's not like I'm not seeing it. I see it. I see it, you know, because the empire strikes back, resistance, you know, and we know something about that in this country. We know, listen, and somebody said something the other day that was so profound, that you know what, you have to fight for freedom over and over and over again. And I think that that was the part that was breaking people's hearts, that we thought that the gains that we made were solid and codified. And here we are back in this place. But the reality is that we always have to keep fighting for our rights as humans, as human beings. We have to keep always fighting, you know. And that is the rallying cry, that freedom demands that you keep fighting for it. I wish we could say once we got our gains and we could rest easy, but that's not the case. You have to, it requires a constant vigilance. And I think people are starting to sort of understand that and are awakening to that, you know. And they're leaning into parts of history that showed us how to do it, you know. And I'm with Reverend Barber when we talk about poverty, and poverty is far greater in white communities than it is in black communities. But we always seem to be the face of poverty, black and brown people, you know, because nobody wants to talk about the poverty that's facing white people. Um, and that really is a game changer. So, so I want people to have a good weekend, stay warm because it's very cold still. And enjoy your family and your friends. Hold everybody dear and sacred. You know, be in community with people and feel the blessings of all the things that you have around you. And I'll be back on Monday. We'll chat some more. So have a good weekend, and I'll see you out here in these art streets, because you know I'm out here, baby. So have a good weekend. I'm on my way to the trainers. I gotta go lift some heavy weights. Ha ha ha.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Mind. Go ahead.
Something so pleasant about that place.
That's CeeLo Green.
Emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care,